Hi Nana. Today we will learn about the chemical differences between metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals. Actually, the main chemical difference between the metals and non-metals is the arrangement of valency electrons. Arrangement of valency electrons. See, in metals, in metals, the number of valence electrons are either 1 or that means valence electrons is equal to either 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, the number of electrons in the valence shell of metals may be either 1 or 2 or 3. There are exceptions except hydrogen. See, actually in hydrogen, though there is only one valence electron, but still it is a non-metal. Except hydrogen, it has only one valence electron, but it is a non-metal. Next, if you speak about the arrangement of valence electrons in non-metals, see here in non-metals, valence electrons may be either 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Okay, either 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 valence electrons are present in the atoms of non-metals in the valence shell. Okay, that means valence electrons. Here also exception, the same exception, except hydrogen. Though hydrogen is a non-metal, okay, though it is a non-metal, still it contain only one valence electron. Okay. See, generally the chemical behavior of any substance or else any atom, it depends upon the number of valence electrons. Okay. Now next we will learn the next difference between metals and non-metals. Formation of ions. Generally, metals readily lose electrons from their valence shell. So that means they readily lose electrons from valence shell. Why do these metals lose electrons from their valence shell? Because if they lose electrons from their valence shell, they will become stable. So that they will lose electrons. Okay, by losing electrons, they enter into chemical reactions. So readily lose electrons from valence shell to enter into chemical reactions. See, generally metals will undergo chemical reactions. They react with non-metals. So they enter into chemical reactions, okay, with non-metals. Metals. See about metals, and we are discussing about metals. Metals readily lose electrons from their valence shell. So why do they lose electrons from their valence shell? In order to become stable. Okay. So by losing valence electrons, okay, here they lose valence electrons to enter into chemical reactions with non-metals. That means they react chemically. So metals react chemically with non-metals. So as they readily lose electrons, hence they form any substance If they lose electrons, they form what? They form positive ion. Positive ion is also called as cation. They form cations. So as they form cations, they are said to be electropositive. Metals are said to be electropositive. Therefore, metals are electropositive in nature. Metals are electropositive in nature. The elements which lose electrons from their valency readily, okay, to form positive ions, those elements are said to be electropositive in nature. So metals are electropositive in nature because they readily lose electrons to form cations. Okay. Example, if you take potassium lose one electron to form K plus. Okay. Potassium will lose one electron to form K plus. So this is unstable, whereas this is stable. Okay. Now, if you speak about non-metals, see non-metal, they form anions. They form anions. How do they form anions? What is anion? Anion is nothing but what? Negative ion. Negative ion. Okay, negative ions. So negative ions means if atoms gains electrons, okay, if the atom gains electrons, then they form negative ions. Okay, see actually non-metals, if you speak about non-metals, the atoms of non-metals, their atoms either, in order to get stability, either they gain electrons from other atom, okay, with non-metal atoms, I am speaking about non-metal atoms. Non-metal atoms, they either gain electrons from other atoms or else they share electrons with other atoms. Whereas metals, they lose electrons to other atoms. Non-metals, they gain electrons from other atoms or else they may share electrons with other atoms. Okay. See, non-metals, they undergo chemical reactions either by gain of electrons or by sharing of electrons with, so by both methods. Okay. They may either undergo chemical reactions by this way or else by this way. So if they undergo chemical reaction by gain of electrons, they form ionic bond. If they undergo chemical reaction by sharing of electrons, they form covalent bonds. Okay. So as these non-metals are able to gain electrons, okay, to form negative ions, they are said to be electronegative in nature. They are electronegative in nature. They are electronegative in nature. Okay, electronegative in nature. See, now the third difference is oxidizing or reducing action. What is the meaning of oxidizing action? If any element or else any substance loses electrons, okay, then it is said to be having reducing action. If any element or any substance gains electrons from some other substance, then it is said to be having oxidizing action. So metals, as they lose electrons to other substances or to other atoms, so they are said to be having reducing action. See, metals, they lose electrons to other substances and 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 are reduced, sorry, and are oxidized. So metals, any substance, if they lose electrons, then they are said to be oxidized. Okay, if any substance is, it is undergoing oxidation, that means metals are oxidized, that means metals are undergoing oxidation. Okay, as they are undergoing oxidation, they are said to be, they are called as reducing agents. Or else they show reducing action. Okay, if any substance loses electrons, then it is said to be undergoing oxidation, and it is said to be reducing agent because it reduces other substance. It itself undergo oxidation but reduces other substance. In the same way, non-metals, they gain electrons from other substance, okay, they gain electrons from other substance, hence are reduced, okay, therefore they are called as oxidizing agents. See, non-metals are called as oxidizing agents. Non-metals, they undergo reduction, they are reduced. Whereas metals they undergo oxidation or else they are oxidized, and they are called as reducing agents. Remember, so if a substance undergo oxidation, then it is said to be reducing agent. If a substance undergo reduction, then it is said to be oxidizing agent. Okay, so metals are reducing agents. Okay, they show reducing action, and non-metals are oxidizing agents. They show oxidizing action. Okay, see, non-metals always they undergo reduction, and they are said to be oxidizing agents. Metals, they always undergo oxidation, and they are said to be reducing agents. Remember. Okay. Next difference is electrolysis. Upon electrolysis of metals and non-metals, what happens? The fourth difference is electrolysis. See, metals, they form cations. The compounds of metals, they undergo electrolysis. Compounds of metals undergo electrolysis. Okay, they undergo electrolysis either in aqueous solutions or in fused state. In their aqueous solutions or else in their fused states. So the compounds of metals will undergo electrolysis. Okay, so the cations are discharged, so that means metal forms cations. So the metallic part of metal compounds is cation. So what happens? Cations move towards cathode. Okay, cations move towards cathode and discharge at cathode. Okay, cathode to form what? To form metals. Metal. For example, let us see aluminum ion or else sodium ion. So these ions, So for example, sodium compound is there, or else aluminum compounds are there. What happened? So during electrolysis, the aluminum ion from the aluminum compound, this will migrate towards cathode. Okay, will migrate towards cathode, and after going towards cathode, what happens? Any cation will take electrons from cathode, okay, and convert into okay. So like this, any cation after going to after moving towards cathode will undergo discharge by taking electrons, and they convert into metals. So in this way, the product of electrolysis, okay, at the cathode is formation of metal. Non-metals, if you speak about, if they undergo electrolysis, see non-metals they form negative ions. See for example, uh, chloride ion. Example, if I see chloride ion is a non-metal, oxygen oxide ion is a non-metal. So what happens? These non-metal ions, they will move towards anode. So etc. move towards, they move towards anode. They move towards anode. Okay, they move towards anode. Okay, so because these are anions always move towards anode during the process of electrolysis, and anode requires electrons. These anions they provide electrons. So what happens? This at anode the anion will lose electrons and form non-metal element, non-metal atom, and they form non-metal atom at anode. So this happens. This reaction happens at anode. Okay, so that means non-metals they discharge at anode. There is an exception, except hydrogen, because hydrogen is a non-metal, but what happens? As it forms cations, so it discharge at a cathode. Okay, except hydrogen discharges at cathode, whereas all non-metals, all ions of non-metals, they discharge at anode, because all ions of non-metals are, they are electronegative. That means they form negative ions, whereas hydrogen, though it is a non-metal, but it forms a positive ion, hence it discharges at cathode. Now, nature of oxides. If you speak about nature of oxides, the oxides of metal, they are generally basic. Okay, metal oxides are generally basic. They are generally basic in nature. That means they react with acids to form some metals. So metal oxides are basic. They form metal oxides. Metals forms metal oxides which are basic in nature. So these metal oxides react with the acids. Okay, they react with the acids. Okay, to form salt and water. To form salt and water. Okay. Whereas if you speak about non-metals form metal oxides, and metal oxides are basic in nature. Non-metals form, okay, non-metal oxides. See, there are two types of non-metal oxides: acidic non-metal oxides and neutral non-metal oxides. neutral non-metal oxides. And here also some of the metal oxides, some of the metal oxides, they are some metal oxides are amphoteric. Some metal oxides are amphoteric. Some metal oxides are amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric means they react both with acids as well as bases. Example aluminum oxide. It reacts with acid, okay, salt and water, and it reacts with the base also, with alkalis, particularly alkalis. What are alkalis? Water soluble bases. So these amphoteric oxides, some of the metals they form amphoteric oxides. So those amphoteric oxides they react with acids as well as alkalis. Alkalis means water soluble base. Again here also salt and water are formed. Salt and water are formed. Some examples of amphoteric oxides are zinc oxide, lead monoxide, zinc oxide, okay, etc. Okay, they are amphoteric in nature. That means they react both with acids as well as bases. The substances which react both with acids and bases, they are said to be amphoteric in nature. So for example, aluminium. Take another example, zinc oxide. Zinc oxide will react with acid to form salt and water, or zinc oxide will react with base to form salt and water. Okay, so like this. So zinc oxide, it is reacting with acid HCl, and also it is reacting with base KOH, alkali. Alkali means water soluble base. Hence zinc oxide is said to be amphoteric in nature. So some of the metal oxides they form amphoteric oxides. Okay, so like this, the nature of oxides of metals can be discussed like this. Metal oxides are generally basic, but some of the metal oxides are amphoteric in nature. Okay, if you speak about non-metal oxides, so they form non-metal oxides. The non-metal oxides are either acidic in nature or else neutral in nature. See, non-metal oxides, for example, carbon plus oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. So this is a non-metal oxide. So this non-metal oxide, when dissolved in water, they form acids. For example, sulfur dioxide or else a sulfur trioxide. It's a non-metal oxide. When dissolved in water, it forms what? It forms an acid. Okay. And these non-metal oxides, okay, these non-metal oxides, they may react with bases also. The non-metal oxides, they react with bases to form salt and water. Okay, see for example NO2, it reacts with H2O to form HNO3 plus HNO2. It's a mixture of it forms a mixture of acids. Okay, so when these non-metal oxide when dissolved in water and as they form acids, they are said to be acidic in nature. So these non-metal oxides, when they form acids, they react with bases to form salt and water. some of the non-metal oxides like water. So this is oxide of hydrogen. Okay, nitric oxide, NO, nitric oxide. Okay, carbon monoxide, carbon monoxide. Okay, so etc. Nitric oxide, carbon monoxide, water, etc. They are neutral. Neutral. That means they neither react with acids nor they react with bases. They do not react with acids or else they do not react with bases. So the substances which neither react with acids nor with bases are said to be neutral in nature. So some of the non-metal oxides, they are neutral in nature. Okay, so in this way the nature of oxides can be discussed. Now, the nature of chlorides. We will discuss about the nature of chlorides. If you speak about the nature of chlorides, see metal, the chlorides of metals. The chlorides of metal are ionic in nature. They are ionic compounds. The chlorides of metals, they are ionic compounds. Or else they are also called as electrovalent compounds. Okay. As they are ionic compounds, so they conduct electrolysis. They conduct electricity. They conduct electricity in in their aqueous solutions or in their fused forms. In their fused solutions, in their aqueous solutions or else in their fused solutions, they conduct electricity because of presence of because of presence of presence of free ions in their aqueous solutions or else in their fused solutions. They form free ions. For example, take magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride, so upon electrolysis it forms Mg plus 2 plus Cl2. That means this chloride ions, so they contain ions. Okay, that means, see, actually in aqueous solution, AQ, I am writing AQ. So aqueous solution of magnesium chloride, metal chloride. Okay, so it forms ions, free ions. It contains free ions, hence it conducts electricity. See, the chlorides of metals, they are generally non-volatile. Chlorides of metals are non-volatile crystals. That means they do not vaporize. Those crystals does not undergo vapor. I mean, they do not vaporize easily. So non-volatile crystals. Okay, what is the meaning of volatile? Volatile means which can convert into vapors easily. Non-volatile means which does not convert into vapor. The solid solid crystals does not volatile easily. Does not convert into vapor easily. So metal chlorides are generally non-volatile crystalline solids. They do not get hydrolyzed in water. Okay. Do not get hydrolyzed in water. The chlorides of metals do not hydrolyze in water. Okay. What is the meaning of hydrolyzed? Reacts with water. So when metal chlorides reacts with water, what happens? So generally, any substance, any salt when react with water, it forms acids and bases. Okay, but here the metals of chlorides, sorry, the chlorides of metals, they do not react with water. They simply form ions. They do not hydrolyze in water. If you speak about non-metals, the chlorides of non-metals, they are covalent in nature. They are covalent compounds. The chlorides of non-metals, they are covalent compounds. They form covalent compounds. As they are covalent compounds, do not form ions. Do not form ions. Therefore, do not conduct electricity. They do not conduct electricity in their aqueous solutions. They do not conduct electricity in their aqueous solution, or else in their fused forms also they do not conduct electricity. See, non-metals chlorides, they are volatile substances. They are volatile substances in liquid or gaseous state. Non-volatiles are generally volatile substances in liquid or else in gaseous form. See, these chlorides of non-metals, they are insoluble in water. They are insoluble in water. Okay, the chlorides are, they are either insoluble in water or are hydrolyzed in water. They are hydrolyzed in water. For example, phosphorus trichloride. Phosphorus trichloride, when react with water, okay, so that means this phosphorus trichloride will undergo hydrolysis to form phosphorus acid and HCl. So when any substance, if it undergo, any salt, if it undergo hydrolysis, generally it forms acid and base. Generally it forms acids, but in this case, so here these two acids are formed. So generally, here upon these chlorides of non-metals, particularly chlorides of non-metals, so when hydrolyzed in water, so it is forming two acids. So these are two acids, phosphoric acid and HCl. If you speak about nature of hydrides, see, metals generally do not react with hydrogen. Metals, they do not react, no reaction with hydrogen. But metals like sodium or else potassium, Metals like sodium or potassium, it may react with hydrogen to form unstable hydrides. So generally metals do not react with hydrogen. Metals do not react with hydrogen. But some metals like sodium and potassium, though they may react with hydrogen, but they form less stable or else unstable hydrides. The hydrides of metals are unstable hydrides. But non-metals, if you speak, non-metals react with hydrogen to form stable hydrides. They react with the hydrogen to form stable hydrides. To form stable hydrides, such as example nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia. Oxygen reacts with hydrogen to form water. Carbon reacts with hydrogen to form methane. N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3. Okay, 2H2O. Carbon plus 2H2 gives methane. So like this. So such hydrides, the hydrides of non-metals are stable hydrides. They are stable hydrides. Whereas the hydrides of hydrides of metals, see, hydrides of non-metals are stable hydrides, whereas hydrides of metals are unstable hydrides. That means they break down easily. These substances, they do not break down easily. As they are stable hydrides, they does not break down easily. Now finally we will discuss about the action with acids, the nature of metal, how the action of metals with acids and how the action of non-metals with acids. Metals dissolve in dilute mineral acids. They dissolve in dilute mineral acids. They dissolve in dilute mineral acids to form salt and and liberates a gas. Example, take zinc metal. When reacted with a dilute mineral acid, what happens? It forms zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas is liberated. So here, if you take a dilute acid, it forms a hydrogen gas. If I take a concentrated acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, then it forms so sulfur dioxide gas is liberated. So if I take concentrated sulfuric acid and made to react with zinc metal, it forms sulfur dioxide. If I take dilute sulfuric acid and made to react with zinc metal, it forms hydrogen gas. So that means gases are released. So that means salt is formed. Along with the formation of salt, so it liberates a gas. Okay, when metals are dissolved in dilute mineral acids, so reaction takes place like this. The action of non-metals with acids. How do non-metals react with acids? Generally, non-metals not react with the mineral acids. Generally, okay, generally non-metals do not react with the mineral acid. In case, but there are some exceptions. In case if any non-metal reacts, if any non-metal, okay, if it reacts with the mineral acids, in case if any non-metal reacts with the mineral acids, what does they form? For example, phosphorus, when it reacts with the nitric acid, then this phosphorus will form phosphoric acid. So it forms phosphoric acid. Okay. So this is a non-metal. Generally, non-metals do not react with the mineral acids. But in case if any non-metal reacts with the mineral acids, then that non-metal will form its acids. It's acid. So if phosphorus reacts with with any other acid, it forms phosphoric acid. If sulfur reacts with any other acid, it forms sulfuric acid. For example, if sulfur is reacting with nitric acid, okay. So here it is concentrated nitric acid. Concentrated nitric acid. So what forms? It forms sulfuric acid. So like this, these are said to be oxyacids of non-metal. So if any non-metal reacts with the mineral acids, then these non-metals, they form their oxyacids. They form their oxyacids. So like this, the main differences between the main chemical differences between metals and non-metals can be discussed. So we will discuss about the other things in the next video.